Facing the choice between a 401k and a Roth IRA can feel like standing at an overwhelming financial crossroads where every path is guarded by dense jargon and conflicting advice. If you have ever hesitated to start investing because you were terrified of picking the wrong account, you are not alone. And that paralysis is a completely natural reaction to a system that often feels designed to confuse you. Across office break rooms and digital forums, millions of working adults stare at open enrollment forms every year, stuck in a state of indecision that keeps their hard earned dollars sitting idle in standard checking accounts. Taking control of your financial destiny does not require a master's degree in economics. It simply requires breaking down these accounts into clear, actionable choices that align directly with your personal goals. To demystify the landscape, let us begin with the foundation of workplace saving, the traditional 401k. At its core, an employer sponsored 401k operates as an automated engine integrated directly into your company payroll system. Before your paycheck ever hits your bank account, a specified percentage of your earnings is routed straight into your investment portfolio. The true engine of the 401k lies within the employer match, a feature where your company contributes additional funds based on your personal savings rate. When an employer offers to match your contributions dollar for dollar, up to 5% of your salary, declining that opportunity is effectively turning down an instant, guaranteed 100% return on your investment before market movements even enter the equation. To truly unlock the power of these investment strategies, you must reframe how you view retirement accounts altogether, shifting your perspective from seeing them as simple savings buckets to seeing them as powerful tax management tools. Every dollar you direct toward retirement is an active decision about when and how much you will pay the government on your income. Choosing between a traditional 401k and a Roth IRA ultimately comes down to a fundamental tactical question. Would you rather receive tax relief on your money today or enjoy complete tax-free withdrawals when you retire decades down the road? Evaluating your current tax rate against your expected future earnings allows you to engineer a wealth-building path tailored to your specific financial career stage. When you contribute to a traditional pre-tax 401k, every single dollar you invest is subtracted directly from your gross income for the current tax year. If you earn $70,000 annually and contribute $7,000 to your 401k, the tax authorities calculate your tax liability based on $63,000 instead of your total salary. This immediate upfront tax reduction provides a significant cash flow benefit today, lowering both your federal and state tax burdens during your active earning years. By reducing your taxable base in the present, you retain more overall purchasing power, making it noticeably easier to maintain your current lifestyle while simultaneously funding your long-term future. Beyond the mathematical tax advantages, automatic 401k payroll deductions offer a profound behavioral relief that removes daily willpower from the financial equation. Trying to manually transfer money into a savings portfolio at the end of every month often leads to frustration and anxiety, as competing living expenses and temptation chip away at your best intentions. By establishing a system where your investments are funded automatically before you ever see your paycheck, you eliminate the mental strain of deciding whether to save or spend. This principle of paying yourself first creates a quiet sense of control and confidence, allowing your long-term wealth to grow quietly in the background without constant emotional friction. Moving beyond your employer's plan opens up the world of individual retirement accounts, commonly known as traditional IRAs. Unlike a 401k, which limits your options to a curated menu selected by your company, an IRA exists independently through almost any major financial institution. This independence grants you complete freedom to invest in practically any stock, low-cost ETF, or mutual fund available on the open market. However, the tax deductions associated with a traditional IRA come with specific rules if you already participate in a workplace 401k. The Internal Revenue Service establishes strict income limits that determine whether your traditional IRA contributions remain tax deductible. As your salary grows beyond these thresholds, the upfront tax advantage fades, making it essential to understand how your modified adjusted gross income impacts your overall tax strategy. Within many corporate 401k plans, an unseen force silently eats away at long term wealth creation. Administrative costs and inflated investment fees. While an employee may carefully track portfolio performance, expense ratios hidden deep within plan disclosures can quietly sap investment returns year after year. A seemingly minor administrative fee of just 1% may sound harmless on the surface, but over a 30-year horizon, it can strip away tens of thousands of dollars from your final nest egg. That single percentage point drastically reduces the exponential power of compound growth, effectively transferring a massive chunk of your hard earned wealth into the pockets of plan managers. Another frequent pitfall inside workplace retirement accounts is the temptation to borrow against your own future through a 401k loan. While the pitch sounds appealing with interest paid back to yourself rather than a bank, the underlying mechanics introduce significant risk to your long term financial security. When you remove capital from your 401k during a market downturn, you inadvertently lock in real losses while stripping your portfolio of its engine for recovery. Missing out on even a few key rebounding days in the stock market permanently destroys compounding momentum that can never be recovered, leaving your retirement trajectory fundamentally compromised. For young professionals currently navigating the early stages of their careers, tax strategy takes on a radically different perspective. When you are in a lower income tax bracket, taking an immediate tax deduction today yields relatively modest savings compared to what you will likely owe during peak earning years. This lower starting tax bracket is actually a powerful competitive advantage for post tax saving strategies. By choosing to pay income taxes on your investment contributions now while your bracket is low, you position yourself to capture decades of future growth without ever owing another dollar in taxes on those returns. This brings us to the core mechanics of the Roth IRA, an account built entirely around after tax dollars. You contribute money that has already been taxed at your current rate, meaning there is no immediate reduction in your gross taxable income for the current calendar year. In exchange for giving up that short term tax relief, the Roth IRA delivers an extraordinary long term benefit: total immunity from income taxes on qualified withdrawals in retirement. Decades of compound interest and investment yield accumulate completely tax free, granting you total financial control over every single dollar you withdraw during your golden years. Navigating retirement strategy often brings a wave of anxiety when you encounter the hard boundaries set by tax authorities. The IRS enforces strict annual contribution limits on both employer plans and individual accounts, capping how much you can shelter each year. While a 401k allows for substantial annual contributions into the tens of thousands, individual retirement accounts feature much tighter annual limits. As your career advances and your income grows, you may confront another unsettling realization: the income phase out threshold, earned beyond a certain statutory limit, and the tax code restricts or entirely eliminates your ability to make direct contributions to a Roth IRA. Reaching these thresholds can feel frustrating, yet recognizing these boundaries early allows you to adjust your strategy before missing valuable tax advantaged opportunities. To navigate these restrictions effectively, it helps to understand the unique structural advantages embedded within a Roth IRA. Unlike traditional retirement vehicles that lock away funds behind strict withdrawal penalties, a Roth IRA grants full access to your original contributions. Because you funded the account with money that has already been taxed, you can withdraw your principal balance at any time for any reason completely penalty free. This intrinsic liquidity functions as a psychological safety net, dramatically reducing the fear of committing extra savings toward long term investing. However, maintaining strategic discipline is critical. Pulling out your underlying principal stops compound interest from working on that money forever. Treating these contributions as an untouchable core foundation ensures your capital continues generating returns through every market cycle. Looking further down the horizon toward late career and retirement, the environment surrounding these accounts diverges even more dramatically. Traditional 401k accounts require mandatory annual distributions known as required minimum distributions, starting at a specific age designated by federal law. The government forces you to take these taxable payouts every year, regardless of whether you actually need the cash, which can push you into higher tax brackets during your golden years. In stark contrast, the Roth IRA offers complete freedom from mandatory distributions throughout your entire lifetime. Your wealth can remain fully invested inside the tax-free shield for as long as you live, generating compound growth completely untouched by the tax collector. This lack of mandated drawdowns transforms the Roth IRA into an extraordinary tool for legacy planning and generational wealth preservation. Bringing these distinct accounts together into a cohesive financial framework requires an optimal hierarchy of funding, often referred to as a contribution waterfall strategy. Rather than randomly splitting your savings, this systematic blueprint orders every dollar to maximize tax advantages and match incentives. By following a clear progression, you ensure that every saved dollar works at its absolute highest efficiency. The waterfall begins with securing your employer 401k match, followed immediately by funding a Roth IRA up to its annual limit to unlock flexible investment choices and tax-free growth. Once your Roth IRA is fully funded, any remaining investment capital flows back into your 401k to capture additional tax-deferred growth up to the high annual limit. This multi-tiered structure maximizes total account efficiency while building a balanced foundation. Executing the initial tier of this strategy demands complete focus on capturing every single dollar of your employer match. When your company offers a matching contribution, every percentage point you contribute yields an immediate, guaranteed return on investment. Turning down this benefit is equivalent to declining free salary, creating an immediate drag on your overall wealth building momentum. Securing this match first establishes an unbeatable foundation that insulates your financial growth against short-term market volatility. Even during periods of market downturns, the instant upside of matched dollar provides a powerful buffer, instilling profound clarity and confidence as you begin your long-term wealth journey. Tax diversification represents the ultimate strategic advantage in long-term wealth planning. By building balances across both pre-tax traditional 401k accounts and post-tax Roth IRAs, you establish two distinct financial reservoirs for your post-career years. When you retire, your income needs will inevitably fluctuate from year to year depending on your lifestyle and health expenses. Having access to both account types gives you complete control over your annual taxable income bracket in retirement. If you need extra funds in a given year for a major trip or home renovation, drawing that additional capital from your Roth IRA prevents your taxable income from surging into a higher federal tax bracket. This flexible dual bucket structure insulates your wealth against unpredictable shifts in future tax legislation, ensuring that changes in federal policy never catch your household unprepared. As your career advances and your earning potential climbs into higher income brackets, your relationship with tax efficiency begins to shift. Mid-career professionals often experience a sudden realization when looking at their annual tax returns, seeing higher marginal rates consume a growing percentage of every hard-earned raise. This transitional stage introduces a feeling of urgency to protect as much income as possible while momentum is on your side. Recalculating your contribution strategy during these peak earning decades brings immediate clarity and peace of mind. Shifting a larger share of your current savings toward pre-tax 401k contributions offsets expanding tax liabilities today, granting you direct control over your current tax bill. Knowing that you are actively reducing your present tax drag while simultaneously funding your future self brings a profound sense of financial alignment. The long-term consequence of combining pre-tax and post-tax strategies extends far beyond individual households and shapes the modern framework of institutional retirement policy. Regulatory shifts, such as those established under the Secure Act 2.0 legislation, continuously adjust auto-enrollment mandates, catch-up contribution limits, and distribution timelines across employer retirement programs. These systematic adjustments ensure that the structural incentives driving personal wealth accumulation remain aligned with broader economic trends over multi-decade spans. When retirement savings frameworks evolve through landmark legislation, the underlying tax incentives directly dictate how national capital is deployed across market cycles. The integration of Roth features into corporate benefits packages reflects a permanent shift toward empowering workers with multi-layered tax options. This ongoing institutional evolution cements tax-advantaged accounts as the foundational architecture for long-term American wealth preservation. Beyond financial statistics and statutory codes, the real measure of a structured retirement strategy is felt within quiet suburban living rooms and family dining tables. Everyday households that navigated these choices decades prior now experience the calm certainty of reliable income streams, shielded from market stress and surprise tax liabilities. Their kitchens remain places of conversation and planning rather than anxiety over unpredictable monthly expenses. In working communities across the nation, parents who systematically funded both 401k accounts and Roth IRAs are now able to offer support to younger generations without compromising their own independence. Their adult children witness firsthand the quiet power of consistent financial discipline, turning legacy planning from an abstract financial concept into a living reality. The tangible calm of financial freedom creates a multi-generational ripple effect that redefines family security. Looking at the broader trajectory of retirement security, landmark policy moments such as the passage of the Employee Retirement Income Security Act in 1974 fundamentally reshaped how workers view personal responsibility. The historical pivot away from traditional corporate pensions placed the steering wheel firmly in the hands of individual savers. Recognizing this shift transforms the way you view your monthly contributions, turning every payroll deduction into a deliberate act of independence. Your wealth building journey is ultimately defined by the simple, repeated decision to prioritize your future self over short term gratification. As long as you maintain a clear strategy, matching funds, pre tax deductions, and tax free growth will quietly align to build an enduring foundation for your life ahead. If you found these insights helpful, subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown.